going on, everybody? Today I'm pumped, I'm super excited because we are going to be talking about someone and something that is super cool in my book. We're going to talk about David Falsberg and his house Phoenicia Perfumes. Now, David and I met on Facebook some time ago. Some of you might recognize his name from the Facebook forums. And basically both of us are oud enthusiasts. We both love challenging, adventurous scents. And David, he's a very kind, very generous man, very interesting story behind him and where his nose has taken him. Just incredible stuff. And this man, the work and time that he puts into what he's creating is just awesome. He takes the time to hunt down all of these rare, exotic oils. And with his help, he has even shared some of them with me, which I greatly appreciate. Man, some of the stuff I've gotten my nose on because of David is just awesome. We're talking like authentic and vintage oils, everything from ambergris to musk, to oud, to civet, to castoreum, all kinds of stinky good fun. Now let's talk about David. The name behind his fragrance house, Phoenicia Perfumes, a very excellent reason why he chose that name, is taken after the mythical bird, the phoenix, that rises from the ashes, symbolizing birth and regeneration of body and spirit. Now, a few years ago, David went through a severe life-threatening medical trauma, Steve Johnson syndrome, which literally means your skin burning from the inside out. It does not sound like any fun, David. And it was during this time that he lost his eyesight for a year, and other senses like hearing and smell became stronger. So it was at this time that he really began taking a journey through fragrances, through scents, with his enhanced olfactory senses. And now, after years of doing this, this Phoenicia Perfumes is his way of sharing the gems that he has discovered out there. You know, for the true fragrance enthusiasts, people that like to be adventurous, people that like to be challenged, not only that, but people that like to find rare, exotic scents, that love quality, because David only uses the highest of quality in his blends, in what he creates. So, love that about the man. So about 2 years ago, David started making fragrances, and he got a bit of a following with a scent called Skin Graft. Now, I gotta read you what's written about this scent, because I can't really do it any justice on my own. He describes it as smelling of band-aids and psychedelic flowers, and I don't know why I have not got my nose on that one, David. That sounds like something I would love. But here's what's written about Skin Graft, just to give you a little idea of what this man's all about. Skin Graft, an autobiographical scent inspired by David's hospital treatment for Steve Johnson syndrome. The perfume narrates the powerful hallucinations of alien flowers he experienced during an induced coma as his skin was grafted and began to heal. The addictive combination of sweet floral notes, gauze accord, and animalic honey create a fragrance which is otherworldly yet eerily familiar. You have never experienced a perfume like Skin Graft before. Man, is that inventive? Is that creative? Is that original? Does that sound awesome? That sounds awesome to me. Man, I definitely need to check that one out, David. So let's get into the oud portion of this video. That's right. You know what else I love about David? If you read his story, where he got his start with his fascination of oud was from the artisans al oud. And man, me and you both love that juice. That's great. I love that. So that's where his interest peaked in oud, and that's what took this man on, man, one hell of a journey, tracking down stuff. He's got all kinds of suppliers that he deals with. I mean, I can't even imagine the contacts this man has. And if people are interested in authentic things, don't be afraid to contact him on Facebook. I'm sure that he would be willing to help out with whatever he can. Now, as for the ouds, a few weeks ago, he sent me a sample of his real oud and real oud feral. Now, when I opened that bag, David, I cannot explain that feeling. I just can't explain it. No other scent does that. When I opened that bag, I was like, oh, damn. That's the shit right there, man. That is the glorious, beautiful oud right there. I just love that stuff. And as long as we're talking about that, you know, talking about oud, a lot of people, there are a lot of people that aren't a fan of it, and that's fine. I don't know, either you're for it or you're not. From the very first time that I smelled authentic agarwood, I was smitten. It just does something for me like nothing else ever has. Very spiritual like. Unlike any other scent I've ever smelled. Some people are very put off by it. A lot of people are, which is okay. Because I'm the only one that really has to love it. But I don't know. It's just zen-like for me. It's just something about oud that it's just sex to my nose. Absolutely love it. And when you get your nose on the real deal, nothing like it. And some people like to use words like, you know, barnyard or fecal, which, you know, I can see why. It's a very generalistic term. I don't really like to use those words myself. I don't really associate that animalic quality behind oud with barnyard or shit. But I can kind of see where that's coming from. But I guarantee you, if you got your nose on undiluted civet oil and smelled that next to agarwood, I mean civet juice, that smells like shit. That smells like ass. That's disgusting. Oud to me is not disgusting. There's this heavenly smooth animalic sweetness about it that's very hard to describe. It is. It's very hard to put a word behind it. Some people say medicinal. Well, I don't really get a medicinal quality out of it myself. I've never smelled any medicine that has smelled like that. The best way that I can describe agarwood, and I'm still trying to figure out the right words, but definitely there's a dark woody aspect about it. Definitely there's a sweet resinous quality about it. And there is the hard part there that's hard to describe, the sweet animalic note. And I'm still having trouble finding the perfect word for it. I don't know, fungal, fermented, something. I don't know, because when you think about what agarwood oil is, it's that resin that forms in an agarwood tree to fight off an infection. So to me, I don't know. I never really pictured barnyard or anything with that. When I wear oud, I just think of, I'm just wearing this, I don't know, very rare, exotic oil that, I don't know, it's just kind of spiritual. It's just magical in its own way. Could sound nuts to some of you, but if you don't get it, you don't get it. But for those of you that get it, you know what the hell I'm trying to say. So, let's talk about real oud and real oud feral. So I'm going to talk about real oud first. I'm going to give you words right from the man's mouth. Message that he sent to me describing real oud, and this is what he had to say. Right now my real oud features a super high grade of oud that I was able to get at an insanely reasonable price, so I pass it on to my customers. So I really wanted this great oud to shine and complemented it with Bulgarian roses, traditional spices like labdanum, saffron, and immortal, and laid this all on top of a base of ruckus, which is wild Indian vetiver that has an amazing smell of real earth. Not so herbaceous like the cultivated vetiver we usually find in perfumes. Also, lots of civet, ambergris, castoreum, and a touch of musk for an animalic accord and to add tenacity to this incredible batch of oud. This has been resting for a year and is definitely ready for your skin. You gotta love that. But what you get out of all that, basically with real oud, oud is bam slam in your face, the main star with all of them other ingredients. I think just lightly there, adding a little bit of flavor, a little bit of character with this blend of oud. And the oud, this one, real oud, as compared to the feral version, this one is a little louder and a little darker and woodier. So when we're talking about real oud, the feral version, this is what the man has to say. It was made from some Bengali oud that was so strong and rancid when I got it 2 years ago that I immediately blended it with roses and jasmine to see if it would soften. Why would you ruin it, David? It took those 2 years to reach a state where I could actually blend it into a muchellet, but it still smells like what I imagine tiger piss smells like. This feral oud lies on a bed of flowers enhanced with real musk and my own amber blend. Now this blend definitely is softer. And David, when you use words like tiger piss, I don't know. For me, like I was saying before, oud and animalic stuff doesn't really come across as like piss. I don't know if people are just being generalistic or what when they say fecal and piss, because I guarantee you, if you had a jar of piss and you were smelling that next to some great oud, it would not smell like piss. The smell of piss is disgusting. So is the smell of shit. So I hate using those terms with great fragrances, great ouds like that. I don't know, it just kind of drives me nuts because you're almost taking something that's so precious and rare, and then turning it and putting a bad name on it. I think it's just because people just can't associate anything else with it because there's nothing else like it. That's what's so great about it. And either you love it or you don't. And the people that don't, I don't know, associate it with barnyard and shit and piss for some reason. I don't get it, but whatever. It is what it is. But anyways, this one, the feral version, differs from real oud in that it is not as woody. It has a softer nuance about it. It has a little bit more of that animalic, funky sweetness that runs through it, where real oud still captures that, but it definitely has more of a dark, woody presence about it. Both of these capture that authentic feel. Just heavenly, divine stuff. My God. Absolute gorgeousness. But with some of the things that David creates, things change. Things are limited editions, stuff like that, because of the rarity of the oils that he hunts and tracks down. They're not always available. Things run out. Batches vary. Suppliers change. Stuff like that. So a lot of the stuff that you get from his house is a limited edition release. Awesome stuff. I cannot tell you how fun this stuff is. If you are the adventurous type, if you like challenges, if you like inventive, creative stuff that is nothing but the highest quality of ingredients, I cannot tell you to look. I cannot tell you enough to look no further than here. Very, very fun stuff. This man does a lot of work in hunting down rare and exquisite scents. Awesome stuff, man. And boy, certainly glad that you have shared some of them with me, David. Awesome stuff, and have opened my eyes. Great. Awesome individual to get to know. And like I said, find him on Facebook. Great, awesome man. And not only that, he said that we're going to have a draw for Real Oud, a 5 ml draw for his Real Oud. And all you have to do to be entered in this draw is just leave a comment below. What should I have you leave a comment about? Because not everybody is very experienced with oud. Leave a comment, anything about oud. Tell me what you love about it, or if you're not experienced about it, tell me why you would want that, why you want to check it out, why you want to win, or tell me why you hate it. Oud is so crazy because I don't know. It's funny what you read about it out there. Lots of Western perfumes that we have all gotten our noses on are nothing like what oud really is. I guarantee you 99% of the stuff that says oud on it, it really does not capture the true authenticity of what oud really is. It does make for a nice ingredient. A lot of fragrances may have oud on it, but they don't, because it adds a nice dark backdrop, woody backdrop to any blend. But it definitely does not capture it when it's in full force, what it actually does. A lot of people do not like that. Hence, that's probably why there are not a lot of oud bombs out there in the Western fragrance market, for sure. But if you want to get yourself a little bit more experience, this is definitely the place that I would look, man, for sure. But that's it, man. I cannot thank you guys enough for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope I did ya justice, David. Always a pleasure, my man. And you guys take care, and we'll see you soon.